Hello and welcome to episode 36 of the Fish Tank. And there is one obvious question. Why am I wearing sunglasses that make me look a little bit like John Lennon or Noel Gallagher or something? Well, it is obvious. Someone asked me to wear them for a whole episode, said that I daren't do it, but it's only wearing sunglasses, so of course I will. Although, I'll be honest, I'm not sure, because as I'm sort of like recording this, I can see myself on the screen as well. I don't actually know whether it's actually like quite dark in terms of recording quality, so it's hard to tell. If it is dark, I do kind of apologise for that, but that's not my apology of the week. Right, so it's what's been happening this week? Well, I'm in Loughborough, obviously. Came back down, said last week I'll be, so we've got 10 weeks worth of Fish Tank from Loughborough, and I've got a new chair to sit on, new Fish Tank chair. Everyone gets it, it's not preferential treatment because I'm, doing the Fish Tank. But a very nice, comfortable chair, and that's about it. The room that I've got is directly below where I was last year, so it's as though I've simply fallen through the floor into a room that's sort of repacked exactly as it was, and all that. So yeah, it's time for Apology of the Week now. And this week's show, I apologise for the lack of seriousness in my apologies, because Blue Peter have once again they're copying me basically. I'm really annoyed about it. Blue Peter are copying me with their apologies of the week. They keep apologising again. Apparently, apologised about giving the wrong name to a cat. But who cares? Because it's only a cat. It's Blue Peter's cat. It's not as though it's particularly that important. Although I remember seeing a few weeks ago about Connie Hook, the Blue Peter presenter, I think she was told off because she did a thing where she was talking about cycling through London. And it just so happened that she was trying to promote cycling. It happened that Ken Livingstone, Mayor of London, was there, and he's promotes the Labour Party. Obviously, he's a member of the Labour Party. The Conservatives apparently got quite annoyed with this. So the BBC actually sort of said to Connie Hook, "You can't do that. You're not allowed. Yeah, you can't stand next to a person. You've got to sign a new contract." So it's a bit appalling, to be fair. The Blue Peter presenter doesn't have the same kind of human rights as everyone else, but. There you go. It's that's just the way it is. So that's my apology of the week for not making serious apologies like the BBC have to. But then again, I don't have to make serious apologies. It's up to me, and all that. So what else has been happening? Northern Rock is still in the news. Apparently they sponsored Newcastle Northern Rock, and Michael Owen is once again injured for Newcastle. So a bit more of a case of Northern Croc with Michael Owen. Perhaps he could do with a bit of Northern Rock in his bones to stop him being injured. One economics teacher at our university refers to Northern Rock. He thinks it's quite funny to refer to it as Northern Jelly, because it's not really a very strong financial institution. So that's the quality of joke you get from lecturers at our university. So all come along next year, guys. So what else has been happening? Well, Radiohead have actually released. They've not released their album, but you're allowed to download the album for as much as you want to pay for it, and this is meant to be incredibly amazing because there's some people actually putting retail price in. They're still saying they want to pay £10 for the album or something like that. Surely, obviously, you just pay 1 penny. But I'm not sure all the fuss is about, because there's loads of these bands new bands who just give away CDs for free. Personally speaking, I let people watch the Fish Tank for free. Although if you do want to send checks, then obviously I'm not going to turn it down, but that's the way it is. So massive fuss about that. And the Tory Party conference has taken place with David Cameron. Apparently today he did a speech without any form of script or auto cue. So simply amazing. That's unheard of. So what do you think a stand-up comedian does when he goes out? He doesn't get sort of on the news because he's done a performance without a script or an auto cue. So that's happened, and apparently Cameron's been putting in a string of bad performances of late. But he's just telling his wife it's the stress of the job. So. And also the Labour Party, they seem to be getting a bit camp, the Labour Party. I mean, I saw their Chancellor, the Chancellor of this country, the Chancellor of the Labour Party, is a man called Alistair Darling. I mean, what kind of name's that? I mean, I saw it on I saw him on the news the other day. I saw the person who was interviewing and said, "Now then, Alistair Darling." Yes. Does she fancy him or what? I mean, what's going on there? So anyway, it's time for the Celebometer. And this week, I'd like to try and get Simon Cowell on the show. Because apparently, on the X Factor, on Saturday, I'm led to believe that there was someone who came on, they sang. Apparently she got a bit of a croaky voice. So he said, I should go and get yourself checked out. And it resulted that he'd actually got some kind of problem with the lungs that could have killed me if he hadn't have seen Simon Cowell. So I know Simon Cowell's very rich and meant to be magical and amazing just because he's quite rude to people. So he's got a bit of attitude, so he's obviously a phenomenal kind of person, just because he's quite rude at times. So I'm not sure quite how that follows. But there you go. I'm always curious as to what Simon Cowell would do if he got some Christmas carol singers round to him. Do you think he'd like to sort of say to him, "You're absolutely terrible, I'm not going to allow you to proceed to the next house"? So I'd like to get him on the show just to analyse my voice and see if give me a full health check. Because I might as well. Apparently they had auditions in Sheffield for the latest series, The X Factor, which if I'd have known about it, could have gone to, but I didn't. So my singing has not been unleashed on the world as yet. So it's now time for the headline of the week, which this week comes from a church. It says, the Jimbo Studios project Word on the Street recently visited. So we went to a church. So if you're on Jimbo Studios, peek into Word on the Street because it's a very good video. So doing a bit of promotion there. This headline comes from a church, and it's on a church leaflet that's displayed outside the door. It says, "Please note that the bold labelled 'For the Sick' is for monetary donations only." So I can only begin to wonder what could have gone in there if that sign wasn't on. So for the sick, you just get a bowl passed here. You're in your sermon. I don't need to say anymore. You get the picture. And this quote of the week comes from Rodney Toonami Marsh, after the dodgy comment that he made, rather offensive. He said, this is a separate quote. It's not the Toonami quote. So, "I'm not going to pick on anyone in particular, but JJ Okocha shouldn't be captain of a football team." So sounds to me as they quite specifically having a go at him. I'm not sure why. I think he's quite a good bloke. Not suggesting he's racist, although obviously he did tell the Toonami joke, which was quite frankly absolutely disgraceful. So there we go. That's it for this week's Fish Tank. And it looks as though I'm going to have to stop the recording myself because I'm used to Jimbo doing it. So just see if you can remember. Here we go. Yep. See you next week. Goodbye.